We are live. Thank you so much. If you are in the audience, thank you for being here. Welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday. I'm Julia with Salinas Valley Recycles as a resource recovery technician. With me today, I have Alan Martinson. He is VP of Retail and E-commerce for Goodwill Central Coast.
Hello, Trash Talk.
Yay! So thank you so much for talking trash with us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming in today.
Oh yeah, so happy.
Good to see you.
So we like to think of thrift shops as our partners in diverting waste from the landfill. It's kind of the original recycling. One person's trash can be another person's treasure, and Goodwill gets to be that facilitator and at the same time create jobs, which is so exciting. I was reading a little bit on your website that I think it was 12,000 tons to date have been diverted from landfills.
Yeah, we went through 26 million pounds last year of donations that came through. And yes, the goal is to keep it out of landfills.
Right.
We take those donations from the very generous communities and we go through them and we about half of that goes to the stores. The other half we take it, we might sell it at our outlets, or it might go into a variety of salvaging avenues like plastic, or maybe it's a cord that we cut off and sell it as a cord, or maybe it's a piece of metal or wood. And then there's the stuff that we can't recycle, furniture that might be what we call ready to assemble furniture, like where you ever make that and you have all the pieces left over, that type of stuff.
Yes.
And then plastic bags are horrible for us, right? We can't recycle those. So we're kind of the end of the line, right? We get everything that people think they might want to be able to reuse, and we go through as much as we can. And we, luckily with this facility, we don't send as many to the tippers to dump as we used to. So we still do have to. So we ask folks, do your best not to try to buy the stuff that's not recyclable, because eventually we can't recycle it or use it again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're really an important part, as you guys play an important part as well. Goodwill's, like you said, the original recycler.
Yes, the original recycler. We're so happy to have another last line of defense before we can, bring those materials to the landfill, because as we know, those things are just there forever and they're not going anywhere. Every piece of plastic that's ever been made is still here today. So I just have a few questions.
Great.
And I think you're already touching on some of them, so you're on it. And I wanted to bring it to the audience. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. This video will also be available after we're live. So if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in there afterwards. So my first question for you, Alan, is could you walk us through what happens when somebody comes and drops off an item?
Yeah, we've got over 30 donation sites in the 3 counties. So all the way from Boulder Creek, all the way up in the hills, Boulder Creek, all the way down to Napomo, which is south of Pismo Beach. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we take your donations. We can't take some things like mattresses and some certain things the state has guidelines on, and we have those on our website if you want to see what we can't take. But in general, we'll take your donation. And what we do is we like to have it to where you can drive up to the donation site. Mm-hmm. We don't have as many trailers as we used to have because they're not great for the employees, right? There's no bathrooms and whatnot. So I said whatnot. I wasn't going to say whatnot.
I probably said and like.
But the main thing is that we have good donation centers where folks can come donate and be safe. And then, if you can separate it out for us, great. We have the kind of the classic thing with the bag with the wet towel and the knife underneath, and then they have some trash underneath that. Yeah. So, please know that we have to go through it, and that takes time and we have to pay people to go through it. So, if you have it separated, then keep it separated for us. So that's great. Even single shoes, believe it or not, we have a guy that buys single shoes.
Really?
And they shred it up and they make, I think, car insulation out of it. Underneath your feet, the gray stuff in your car, it looks like it's different colors and it's kind of pulls apart.
Yeah.
They have to make that out of something, right? So that's what they use old materials for. So we sell it off to those guys, a whole trailer full. I'll show you, we'll walk down there later and I'll show you. But really, when they go to the donation side, we want to make it easy. You should be able to just take it out of your trunk, hand it to us. We'll sort it the best we can, and we'll give you your receipt. you can talk to your tax guy. It may affect your tax situation. Certainly a donation. We give you that proof of that donation, and then you can keep it for your accountant, or you do your taxes and whatnot. And then if you want, we can also, what you donate can either go to the stores.
Okay.
It could go to the e-commerce, or it could go to the salvage. We'll decide that. What that when you donate something to us, that we're going to be, like I like to say, the ambassador of that. We're not going to overcharge people. We're not going to try to make something we shouldn't be making, but we're going to make what it's worth. And we're going to use our expertise to take your item and get the most for it, so we can use that money to then give jobs to your neighbors, basically is what it comes down to. So, if you donate a gold necklace, say, that's in that you had in your thing forever, and you're never going to wear it, and it's tangled up in knots, put it in a little baggie and give it to, and we'll put it online, and some guy will buy it and then we'll take that money and put it right back to the jobs. I was just able to add another job yesterday to Monterey, non-planned, non-budgeted. They were doing more sales, so we added extra staffing. So those donations correlate directly to what we can do for the community as far as jobs.
Yes. Oh wow, I love that so much. I think that's so important. It's about creating that economy and then helping the people. At the core, it's all about people. Right?
And it's very rudimentary and basic, right? It's I like to give the example. You hand it to one man, he hands it to another man, and that man hands you $1, and you hand that dollar to another man or woman. Just using man in general. So that cycle is so basic, but yet really powerful. And we try to simplify things as much as we can for our employees and for the donor, but we really appreciate it. We really want you to go through your cupboards and take the dishes that you haven't used in 3 years. I actually, believe it or not, I'm in my 50s. I had the dishes my parents gave me when I went to college.
Oh, wow.
In a box in the garage. Like, why do I need to keep the dishes? Like,
I'm pretty sure there's a mug up there.
I'm pretty sure there's a mug. Maybe I'll keep the mug. But, you need to get rid of that stuff, eventually, and give yourself space, And we will take that, know that in the back of your head that it's not going to get thrown in the trash if we can avoid it. We're going to sell it. We're going to make money off of it. And then, like I said, we're going to provide benefits and full-time jobs for people.
Yeah, so important. Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering that
You're
question. All right, so my next question for Alan is, when donated textiles in particular can't be resold, can Goodwill do something with those textiles? Because
we certainly can. Boy, have you ever watched the news like on like another country, and you see some guy in some other country with like a Hurley shirt on or something, a T-shirt? They probably got that from Goodwill. We do it in 1,800-pound bales. I'm going to show it to you a little later today. We have a tipper, and we don't have to even touch it. It tips it into a conveyor belt. It goes up the conveyor belt into a big pile. It gets squished into very tight 1,800-pound bales.
Oh wow!
And then we wind them up with the bale and wire, and then we sell them off in truckloads.
Oh,
and then those truckloads get us about, a few cents on the dollar, but then we don't have to throw it away.
Oh, yeah.
So we probably do a dozen truckloads a month of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, full semi-trucks of clothing.
Right.
So if you've got that shirt that, Goodwill won't want that shirt, it's got a hole in it, just send it. We'll put it in the salvage pile and sell it off. Don't throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Because it'll stay in the landfill forever. And, they'll be mining the landfills, right? When we're old and gray, people will be mining those landfills, but, we just don't want to go there.
No.
And even if to pay the salvager to take it, we'll pay them to take it, as opposed to tipping it.
Yeah, and then the salvager can turn it into like other products, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Rags or something.
Rags or, whatever they decide to do with it. They might just sell it off as clothing and then repurpose it.
Yeah.
We have two types, credential and non-credentialed. Credential is basically we haven't gone through it, and it could have anything could have Gucci in it. And then non-credentials, we've gone through it all and sold what we could and got the best stuff out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just a note, our textiles cannot go in the recycle bin, in our blue recycle bin, because unfortunately they cannot be recycled curbside. They get to the MRF, the Material Recovery Facility, and just really get tangled up in that process. So if you can, avoid throwing them in the trash. Maybe bring it over to Goodwill or another thrift shop that you like, and see if that can be salvaged or create jobs through the recycled economy. Thank you.
Yeah, what I do is keep a little bin at my house, and as I go through clothes, or you have the single socks,
Oh yeah.
can that.
The dryer.
I just throw them in that bin, and after it gets full, I just bring it down to Goodwill, and we'll have a variety of clothing items that the family doesn't use anymore, and people are buying new clothes. They're just not throwing away. The men are the worst. I had khakis from the khakis anymore. I had like 8 pairs of khakis. I don't need 8 pairs of khakis anymore, so I donated them all, and wrote them off on my taxes. So we'll take it. Like I said, even the stuff we don't obviously want all your. We'll take it. We're not going to make money on the damaged clothes, but we'll just keep it out of the landfill, and we will recycle it. And if you put it in the blue bin, then it's just going to get mixed up with everything.
And it becomes a big mess. Yep, absolutely. So no trash if we can, and definitely no recycle bin. So put your clothes to good use and try and recycle them, repair them if you can, but they're still useful. And then, thank you, Alan. I just have one more question, please. And it is, what advice do you have to those who donate to make sure their items make the biggest impact possible?
Yes, I mentioned separating.
Yeah.
So jewelry is really the thing that we see the most damage. People donate some amazing stuff. We have Rolex watches donated. Wow. And I'm not saying go donate all your most precious jewelry, but people do that.
Yeah.
We have, someone will pass away and we'll donate all the jewelry, or things like damaged necklaces. People have the tangled necklaces. So we have at our donation sites little plastic bags now, and then we'll give it to you, and you put it in there, and we'll seal it, and then it gets put in a special safe kind of, and it doesn't get tangled up, or God forbid someone goes through it or whatever, overnight or something. So that's a way to protect your donation. And jewelry, we did almost $1 million last year in sales. Oh, wow. All online. That's amazing. We have a center here, a jewelry center, where they have jewelry testers and gold testers, and we have a team of people here that have grown up here at Goodwill and have learned about jewelry, and it's a really good way to give back to the mission. Now, that goes with all sorts of stuff. If you have things in your house from the old days, things like an anvil in the garage that you don't use anymore, or something that's from collectible, from a piece that you only have one piece left, that you don't know why you're collecting one piece of something. Donate it, we'll put to good use. Pokemon cards. What we do with Pokemon is we certify them. We have a system, and then we grade them. And we got 10,000 for the Magic Gathering cards. We have, I don't know if you heard of the Magic Gathering game. It's like a dungeon.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, Dungeon Dragons.
Dungeon Dragons, yeah.
$10,000 for one card.
Gosh.
And I'm making this up. Yeah, someone bid on that. So, and we have Pokemon and baseball cards. We scan every card with a scanner, and it tells us good or bad, So we have folks back there doing that. Wow. Legos. If someone's sorting Legos, believe it or not, to make sure that they're all Legos. Like if it's not a Lego, like your eyes get crossed. You put in another thing. But people buy it by the pound. Yeah. We sell Legos by the bag. Okay. Because Legos are so incredibly popular. Right. So someone will buy a bag of Legos for $20 as opposed to thousands of dollars. So all that type of stuff, which is collectible, we do a really good job here of. Or even Coach bag. We have a little wand. You scan the bag. It tells if it's counterfeit or not. It looks at the stitching of the bag, and it knows the proprietary stitching of Coach. It knows exactly, and it could tell you, and then you can certify it. So the bags we sell online are actually certified actual Coach bags. Wow. And then the rest of them we have to shred up. The counterfeit ones we have to shred up, and those we have to throw away, unfortunately, because we can't. Well, actually, we put those we shred them up and put them in the salvage bin, because it's still textiles, but we can't sell them. Yeah. But it's kind of bad to see Coach, a big thing of Coach bags being, they're all fake. There's a lot of fake stuff out there. But they can, like anything else, the cleaner it comes in, the easier it is for us. And please no trash. Know that we have to throw away the trash, and then we have to pay for that, and then we have to take that away from what we're doing other places. So please use your own bin at home. Properly put them in the correct bins, or a lot of folks are composting now too. So if you do all those, utilize those bins, because those bins, you do a great job with the bins. Just if you can keep the stuff that can come to us out of the bins, and
Yes.
the stuff that belongs in the bins keep out of our stuff, then it makes it easier for us too. You'll see what gets thrown away today when I show you. It's all old furniture and stuff like plastic bags.
Oh,
It's a shame to watch that be thrown away.
Right, yeah. That's great advice. Thank you. Yep. So I never thought of it that if you're putting what is really trash in a recycle bin that you're bringing to Goodwill, they have to take care of it. Trash is still going to be trash. So if you're putting like chip wrappers or
we don't have magic. I mean, we're still going to be trash, right?
Yeah.
So
and then it's just more work for you.
More work for us, and then it just makes it harder for us. Yeah. Now and I've worked at donation sites myself. Sometimes I raise my hand and I go help, and it always surprises me how much trash we get, like just full trash bags. Yeah. But I think it's just a matter of folks they lose track of what they have, and they fill the truck up with what they've recycled, and a bag of trash kind of gets in there.
Kind of makes it
in. We understand. It's just kind of, we'd rather not have it if we can avoid it.
Yeah.
But again, we're focused on the donor, and in general, it's a very small percentage of trash. Most of it's really generous stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised when people donate. It's just amazing the stuff we get, and we thank everybody for that. And we just promise that we'll put it to good use.
That's so great. Thank you. Excellent. Well, those are all the questions I had. Did we get any questions from the audience?
No questions from the audience.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us today at Trash Talk Tuesday. Remember, if you are considering donating your gifts, please, if you can, sort them as best as possible. If you can't, then that's okay. Try to keep your trash out of the donations. And remember that what you consider to be trash could be somebody else's treasure. So consider donating or repurposing before throwing it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you all. Bye-bye.
It's a wrap.